People who became successful after the age of 40, Part 17, Amancio Ortega. Amancio Ortega is one of the most successful and private billionaires in the world. Known as the founder of Zara and its parent company Inditex, Ortega built a global fashion empire that reshaped the clothing industry. Yet his rise to wealth and recognition did not happen early. For decades, he worked quietly in workshops and small tailoring shops. It was only after the age of 40 that his vision took off, eventually making him one of the richest men on earth. His story shows how persistence, humility, and innovation can turn late beginnings into lasting legacies. Early life and humble background. Amancio Ortega Gaona was born on March 28, 1936, in the small town of Busdongo de Arbas in northern Spain. He was the youngest of 4 children in a working-class family. His father was a railway worker, and his mother served as a housemaid. Ortega grew up in modest circumstances. At the age of 14, he left school to work as a shop assistant at a shirt maker in A Coruña, Galicia. There, he learned the basics of textiles, clothing design, and customer service. He quickly developed a keen eye for fashion and a sharp understanding of what customers wanted. Years of struggle and apprenticeship. For the next 2 decades, Ortega worked in various tailoring shops. He observed how clothes were made and sold, and he noticed something that would later shape his business. Fashionable clothing was too expensive for ordinary people. By the 1960s, Ortega began producing quilted bathrobes and lingerie with his first small company, Confecciones Goa, which supplied local shops. He worked with his siblings and first wife, Rosalia Mira, sewing garments at home and selling them to small retailers. While he was hardworking and innovative, Ortega remained relatively unknown. He was in his mid-30s and far from being considered successful. The turning point after 40, founding Zara. In 1975, at the age of 39 going on 40, Ortega and his wife opened the first Zara store in A Coruña. The shop offered stylish but affordable clothing, appealing to customers who wanted the look of high fashion without the high prices. The response was immediate. Zara's success came from Ortega's revolutionary approach. Instead of following the traditional seasonal fashion calendar, he pioneered what became known as fast fashion. This model involved producing new designs quickly, delivering them to stores in a matter of weeks, and constantly refreshing inventory. Customers were encouraged to buy immediately because items would soon be replaced with new collections. It was a retail strategy that created urgency and excitement, and it worked. Building Inditex and global expansion. After the success of Zara, Ortega founded Inditex, Industria de Diseño Textil, in 1985. At the age of 49, Inditex became the parent company of Zara and later other brands such as Massimo Dutti, Pull & Bear, Bershka, and Stradivarius. Through the late 1980s and 1990s, Ortega expanded Zara across Spain and then internationally. The company's logistics system became legendary. From its headquarters in Spain, new designs could be conceived, manufactured, and distributed to stores worldwide in just weeks. This speed and flexibility allowed Zara to outpace competitors and respond instantly to fashion trends. By the early 2000s, Zara stores were opening across Europe, the Americas, Asia, and the Middle East. Ortega, who had spent decades in obscurity, was now leading one of the fastest-growing fashion empires in history after the age of 50. A private billionaire. Despite his wealth, Ortega remained intensely private. For many years, there were no public photos of him, and he avoided the spotlight. He preferred to dress simply, often in a blue blazer, white shirt, and grey trousers, rather than in designer fashion. In 2001, Inditex went public, instantly making Ortega a billionaire. At his peak, he became the richest man in the world, surpassing Bill Gates for a time, with a net worth of over $80 billion. Yet, unlike other billionaires, Ortega never gave interviews and rarely appeared in public. Later years and legacy. Ortega stepped down as chairman of Inditex in 2011 at the age of 75, handing over leadership but remaining the largest shareholder. His fortune continues to grow as Zara and Inditex expand globally. His business model, fast fashion, has been both celebrated and criticized. Supporters credit him with democratizing fashion, making stylish clothing accessible to ordinary people. Critics point to environmental concerns and labor issues tied to the fast fashion industry. Regardless of debate, Ortega's impact on global fashion is undeniable. The lesson of Ortega's life. Amancio Ortega's story proves that success is not always about bold beginnings or early fame. He spent decades in quiet work, learning his trade and starting small. Only after 40 did he launch the venture that would transform fashion worldwide. His life reminds us that humility, patience, and persistence can lead to extraordinary achievements. His philosophy was simple: listen to customers, adapt quickly, and never stop improving. Conclusion. Amancio Ortega became a billionaire and global business icon only after 40, building Zara and Inditex into a fashion powerhouse. From a railway worker's son to one of the richest men alive, his journey is proof that it is never too late to start. His story inspires us to see age not as a limitation but as an advantage, where decades of learning can prepare you for the right opportunity at the right time. Kindly subscribe.